Ah, yes. Grants. Welcome to Grants 101. How to find, apply, and win grants live workshop. Learn how to find, apply for, and win grants with proven strategies to increase funding success for your business or nonprofit. Welcome, everybody. My name is Noel Booker. My business is Business Credit Builder. And what we do at Business Credit Builder is help entrepreneurs build their business credit and access funding. Um, so this grants webinar is not something I do, but because I want to help and share information with entrepreneurs, I decided to do this webinar on grants. Now, if you've already applied for grants and stuff like that, then you know most of this stuff. This is for people that's starting to think about getting into doing grants. They want to get money for and they want to learn more about getting grants. So this is like the 101 course, the basic stuff you should know approaching getting grants for your business. Okay, and I'm not the expert at this, but this is just like the basic information you need to know. Okay. All right. I'm gonna share my screen, and you're gonna see my nice little pretty presentation I got for y'all. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oops. Y'all are getting privy to stuff. Okay. So now you should be able to see my screen. Um, we're gonna get started here. Okay, so let me get this right. Bear with me. Okay. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Grants 101, how to find, apply, and win grants. It's a live workshop for business owners and nonprofits. Build a build a repeatable grant funding strategy. Okay. My name is Noel A. Booker Sr. Check out the buttons at the bottom of this page. One, get a free guide on how to build business credit. Just go to businesscreditbuilder.us/free guide and get the free guide. When you get that free guide, you get on my email list and get a whole bunch of nice information, right? And keep you updates on my upcoming events and everything that we got going on. Okay? The blue button is how you get a free business credit consultation. If you got some questions about building your business credit, if you want to know about the services we provide and how we can help you, schedule a free business credit consultation. And if you think you get funding now, go to businesscreditbuilder.us/get funding. All right. Okay. Workshop outcomes. Find real grant opportunities, write stronger applications, increase win probability, and build sustainable funding. That's what you should get out of this little presentation here. Okay? Now, here's the grant reality check. It's highly competitive when you're applying for grants and stuff. It's highly competitive. It's not fast money. It requires compliance and reporting. Okay. Um, and it's best as a part of a funding mix. So you just don't apply for one grant and then wait for that grant, right? You're looking for other forms to help fund your business as well, like other alternative forms of funding your business that you may or may not know about. And I have a lot of videos on my YouTube that explain more about alternative funding opportunities, right? Okay. Um, where to find grants? Okay, so these are the basic places and how to research where grants are. Okay, the first place is grants.gov. This is for federal grants. All right. Then you have local and state programs. So down at your local and state, you can research because there are grants out there that's just for local municipalities and state programs. Okay, you just got to research where you get them from, right? For each particular state. There are also private foundations that's what they do. They have money that was donated to them, and then they go look to facilitate whatever their goals are, right? So they look for grants to help facilitate what they do. And there's corporate grant programs as well. Companies that are trying to do something in particular communities or whatever they're doing, right? Okay, here's a pro tip is to start local. Start local. um when you're doing local, like the county, the city, you know what I mean, if you're looking, you start that way. Start real local right in your area, and you look to see what grants they have. Okay, the city, the county, right? At this level, it's less competition, and it's more relationship driven, faster decisions, and higher win rates. So start local. Aligning your mission, all right? This is where you have to start thinking, all right? You have to make sure you have a clear mission statement, you match funder priorities, and you show community impact. Now, on this page, the thing that sticks out is match funder priorities. So when you find these grants, you want to align yourself with what the priorities of the grant is. So the grant is looking to do something in particular. So they're looking for people that's good, companies that are going to match up to their priorities the best. Okay? Understanding funder priorities. That's just what I was talking about. It depends on what they're trying to do. If they're trying to have an economic impact, community development, innovation, or underserved populations they might be trying to serve. You see what I'm saying? SMART goals win grants. So when you communicate, you have to have all of these things in mind. When you're communicating and drafting up the documents that you need, you have to make sure you are specific. The things that you talk about are measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Okay? Keep all of that in mind. Building a winning narrative. So, whatever the priorities of the grant is, there's a problem that they're trying to solve. So, you have to make sure that you identify what the problem is, and be able to explain your solution, the measurable impact of your participation, and be able to explain why you're the best fit. Okay. Budgets that get approved. Okay. So they go down, like with these grant stuff, they're really looking at the numbers and stuff and how organized you are. Okay. So spend the time that's necessary to make sure you have a detailed and realistic projections. Every cost justified and aligned with the proposal, right? Everything is aligned with what the grant priorities are. Okay. Okay. Financial statements. These are the required documents. So existing businesses already have this stuff on deck. Okay. So you make sure that when you make these proposals, when you find a grant, make sure everything's aligned right. Financial statements, tax returns, letters of support, a business plan. All right. Have all that stuff ready. Application best practices. Okay, on the application, follow directions exactly. Every grant has different requirements, different courses of action. All right, and it's real specific. All right, answer every question, be clear and concise, and proofread your stuff before you send it in. No mistakes, right? Y'all know the routine, right? Common mistakes. Applying without alignment, right? Being aligned with the priorities of the grant of the funder, right? Missing documents, weak metrics. That's the numbers. You gotta make sure the numbers is right and they make sense, right? And realistic. And you can explain them, okay? Uh, and rushing your submissions. Don't rush your submissions. Make sure you got everything lined up right, and you are the perfect choice for what the priorities of the grantor is, right? Okay, networking strategy. Okay, here's a networking strategy when approaching these grants. Connect with grant officers, attend local events, partner with nonprofits, build visibility early. Tracking system, have spreadsheets, track. Okay, so like this is what I do, right? Like even with my own clients in building business credit and organizing trade lines, right? I set up a spreadsheet and we're gonna monitor the progress of each submission, right? So you have your spreadsheet set up, you track your deadlines, right? Monitor status and follow up. Make sure you do all that stuff so that you don't miss and slip up on deadlines and stuff, okay? Because every grant has a start and end time for submitting the applications. You have to be you can't slip up on some stuff that you missed reading what their requirements are. Okay? So follow their instructions to the letter, right? Reporting and compliance. Track the outcomes, submit reports on time, maintain transparency. Okay, so there's one business that I'm aware of that got a grant, right? So this is a small service business. He applied to 5 local grants, right? He won 2 of them for totaling 25,000, and I think his community focus was the means by which he secured that, right? So that was like these grants are specific on what they're trying to do. So you have to match up to what they're trying to do. You're trying to be exactly that. That's the best way to get awarded grants. Okay. Structuring for sustainability. Don't rely on one grant. Stop funding sources. Reinvest strategically. Increase your odds. Applying consistently. Start small. Refine each time. Learn from rejection. Um, and have your action plan, right? You identify 3 grant services, prepare core documents, apply within the time guidelines, and track everything. Before we get out here, make sure you get your free guide on how to build business credit. Um, get a free business credit consultation. at the website, businesscreditbuilder.us. Get funding. Just work with us. Anybody got any questions before we get out of here? This one's like a short one right here. And make sure you check out all the social medias that we have available. The blog is the place, right? The blog and the YouTube channel, those are the best spots, right? Yep. Business credit is real. Business credit is real. Anybody got any questions? I hope I didn't waste y'all's time. What's up? I'm getting out of here. All right. Everybody, thank y'all for coming. And stay tuned. We got a bunch of webinars scheduled for this spring. Talk to y'all later. Oh, hold on. There's something up here in the chat I missed before I sign off. Let me just see what this is. Okay, bet. Thank you, Renee. Talk to y'all later. Yes, and we out. We out like shout. Let's see if I can get out of here. Yeah. Yeah, how do you get out of here? What? All right, let's do that. All right, y'all. Peace.